Well, welcome back to the stream. We are going to continue with our content, and like I've always reminded you, this is a space where we get to build different kinds of products. We build web apps, but we also have ventured into mobile apps, and one of our mobile apps which is already on the store, it is called Quizzer. So what does Quizzer do? Quizzer is a very simple app that enables students to scan any question and get reasonable answers by a formula that they get to follow, which is a process where they get to have answers that are tailored in a step-by-step process, and also they can be able to practice different kinds of subjects, and with this it is quite easy for them to learn effectively. So we vibe coded this app. The process was quite I can say really enjoyable, and we had lots and lots of learning processes, but we did it live. For the people who have not yet been able to view our previous streams, you can be able to check them out, but also you can subscribe. When you subscribe, I believe that you can be able to view the different kinds of products like these, which is quite amazing. So we built this app itself, but also we built a website for it, because one of the prerequisites for building an app and launching it on the store is that you need to have a website. So that is what we've done. So, but we've also worked on other projects which were quite not in-house projects given to us by different kinds of clients, and that is how we've been able to earn over $400,000. So if you want to keep on and get to view what we do effectively, well, do not please hesitate to continue checking out our content. Today we are going to work on something different. A client has given us some kind of work, and what we are going to work on, we're going to work on the automation of a process. This client has a production factory for reusable sanitary pads, and now they have given us the work. What we are going to do, we are going to build out each and everything as you get to see it, and I believe this is going to be a learning process. If you feel like you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know, or in the live chat. Also, click on this video, like it, subscribe to the channel if you feel like the content that we put out is quite important to you, because I believe as we go on, you are going to learn more and you're going to lean more into what we get to do, which is quite amazing. So please, let's but the different kinds of things that you can do if you're going to build out this platform. So we've already set out a folder for this platform that we are going to build. Now we can go to cloud. So what have we done in cloud? When we received the context of what we wanted in cloud, and what we did is that we explained in details what we wanted. So these machines are quite all these agents are quite good, and the models are quite extensive, because when you go and explain what you want, so you see this explanation, it's a simple explanation of what we want to automate and the things that we want to put into the automation. We explained this, but further we had this extract which was given to us from the client. The client gave us this extract, and we also received this. So the combination of the two extracts, we were able to build the PRD document. What do I mean by the PRD document? The PRD document is a production road document. In other words, this is a document that you set out when you're going to build any website or any app. The production road document enables you to fully understand or get to have a full to build, because let's say you're going to build something and you just jump in, it's not really going to work out the way you want, because you're going to have to make so many iterations. And when it comes to the agents, because the agents are working mostly with the consumption of the tokens, and the more tokens you produce, the more the cost is going to be high for you. So our kind of style of approach is to go and try and explain it to an agent that is quite advanced. And when it comes to cloud, you all know that cloud has one of the best agents, and they've just put out their latest agent, which is cloud also going to I think I'll make a short video about that and see get to test out the different kinds of functionality. So cloud is quite good when it comes to creating documentation for any website that you're going to build or any app. So we start with this process, and after that come out with two documents. Actually, literally it's the same document, but we were able to recreate it in two formats. We have the Microsoft Word document, which is the document for this particular website that we're going to build. So the companies Start Durable Parts, they are the ones we are building this website for. So basically what you get to see here, it is the executive summary of what you're going to build, because it's laying out the work of Start Durable Pads and how it manufactures reusable pads. So this is an extensive document. It's an extensive document of over 25 pages. So from the other simple extract that we made, we get this document which we are going to use in the production process. This is quite crucial. I know some of you would rather see me just jump in and get to build the product. When you set out and you are going about the process in a much more better way, it helps you to fully understand. So when you look at what it is laying out, the agent has fully structured out the system architecture and how it's going to work out, the front end, the back end, the database. It's also structuring and setting up the layout of the authentication, the PDF generation, the hosting, which is going to be in Vercel, which is quite amazing. And for me, something that I love. I would love to have quite an extensive kind of planning when I'm about to go into creating any website. So as you go on, it breaks down the different kinds of features that we are going to have and the different kinds of sections. Like for the storage, it's breaking out the elements very well, and for the revenue, for the production, and how it is going to be set out, which is quite extensive. So I believe these documents are very crucial in our building process. Let's download them. But before we go any further, I'm going to call upon the people who have not yet subscribed to please subscribe to this amazing channel. And I believe you are going to continue to get more of content that is going to fully enlighten you in how you can go on to even create these products yourself. So let's go further into this. I've downloaded these documents. So now what do, let's go here. We're going to open another tab. And with these, so these are the two documents that you're going to copy. Let me copy them. So I've put them in the folder. So after this, what we are going to do, I think we are going to come here. Now we get to view these documents, which is quite good. So like I told you, these are mostly product road, show what we need to have in terms of functionalities, from function to function, screen to screen, and then the whole architecture, the front end architecture, the back end architecture, and all that is involved, which is a very good practice. Because if you don't do that and then you just jump in and you build something, it's going to cost you. What I know is that you're going to make many reprompts, and with many reprompts, it's going to take you many credits, and that is going to cost you in terms of the cost that you get to incur for your company or for your entity, or even when you're an individual and you're trying to build out different kinds of products. It's going to be costly. So I would prefer for you to create a product before you jump into the building phase, which we are going to do perfectly. So now that we've set out this, we are going to start building. So what we are going to do, I want us to open up this terminal, run this from the command prompt, and from here we are going to open. We are going to use open code. So why am I using open code? Open code is very easy because with open code it's quite. I've been using open code. I've been also trying out with the native agents that are built into Google Anti-Gravity, but I found open code quite because open code has that kind of extensive engineer kind of approach, which is quite good. So I believe it's a very good agentic coding tool. So I'm going to run it from here, but as I'm running it, I want to get some, which is a layout. So I want to get something. Let's go here. It's in another project, which is quite good. Let's go to the project that we've already made, which is the Quizzer project. Here. So this is the document that I want to get. Let me copy it here and paste it here. It's quite a very important document. I'm going to open it from get to see. Now that open code is ready, before we start, let me take you through this document. But before I take you through this document, if you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, because when you subscribe, you get to give us the urge to be able to do more of these videos. And honestly, when you subscribe, you're going to get access to these videos as they drop, the live streams and the new videos that we are. Please do not hesitate to subscribe, because when you subscribe, it really energizes us to move forward and be able to create more of this content in a much more better way. Thank you for that. Let's continue. Let's continue and even work on more of these products. So we are going to proceed. So this is what we have. So this is the master prompt. So what is the master prompt? The master prompt is basically a layout of different kinds of instructions, and these instructions are laid out to enable us to fully understand what the approach that the agent should follow when it is creating plans. So our approach is very instructions, but before the instructions are really put out, we want to first have a plan. So that is the layout that we use, and this master prompt has different sections. When you look at it, it has the task where you get to clearly explain what you want to get done. You also give examples in case. So you also information in terms of the context, which is quite extensive. When it comes to the section of the issue, with the issue, you are going to describe what specific issue are you trying to solve. If there is a problem, maybe you are trying to make refinements. And then for the request is going to be extensive. It's like the extensive request that from the text. And when you go further to the other section, which is the note section, the note section gives you the ability to write down the different kinds of constraints that you want to add on, because when the agents are really approaching and they're working with the whole code, but sometimes they get to disorganize the of making refinements in different code snippets where they are not supposed to do that. So what really gives you the guardrails is by creating a prompt that has guardrails on telling the agent that work on this, then you shouldn't be able to work on any other code snippet within the project. Just work on this particular page or this particular functionality, which makes it quite restrictive, but also it directs the agent to work on particularly what you want, then with that being able to get the best results from whatever you want, which is quite good. So let's continue. With this. Okay, so now we're going to refresh this document, but even before this is what we have, because I believe this can be advanced. So this can be advanced. Let's run this. Let's go back, go into cloud. We are going to leave this, we're going to create a new tab. So I think Cloud Fabo is out, so it is something that we shall check out. But before that, let's go with this and make a request. So now this is my master prompt that I've been using as I'm working with different kinds of agentic coding tools to be able to get the best out of any instruction. And use it is that I give an instruction, then I tell the agent to refine that instruction using this master prompt. But I believe as a senior engineer, from your kind of approach, if you were to approach this as an advanced senior engineer, how could you advance this prompt even more detailed? That means you're not going to remove the elements that are there, but you're going to make it even more extensive and more detailed, so that it can be able to produce results that are even 10 times than what it produces as per now. So please, can you rewrite it to make it even more extensive and more advanced, to ensure that we can use it to even get the best results. So let's continue. I think that we get to advance this because we've been using it. I've been thinking of advancing it, but now that today I have some time before we start off, I believe it's quite important for us to work on it and relatively well. So it's creating an MD file. It's making it quite extensive. I believe it is something that we can be able to use and even make it much more better. These sets like the set of instructions, it's going to be very easy for you. Yes, you want to build something, but you can't explain it much more better. But if you make the explanation and then you give the agent to restructure your request, then that means from the restructuring of the request, then it's going to fully understand more from that approach, and with that it's going to give you the best results. You know, when it comes to working with AI, it's mostly how you craft the input. The execution is much more important. Yes, you might have the tools. Yes, someone can be able to acquire these tools, but the way they approach the process and the way they are going to go about the process, that is determine the output that they are going to get. And for me, that is quite good. So I wanted to first of all use cloud to advance this. Because when I advance it, it's not only usable in this project, but I'm going to reuse it even in other projects, which makes sense to have quite an extensive document like this. So we already have it. It's quite good. I think it has laid out quite a very good structure. So I love the structure. So we are going to get this. Let's go here and go to the downloads. This is the document. Let's copy it. Let's put it here as our master prompt. Now This is the advanced document. So let's put in a request. So now we are going to start to work on our on the automation of the star production app. So this production app gets to automate and detail different kinds of processes that this particular company goes through when using their reusable sanitary pads. And now, when it comes to the extensive information of what they do, I'm going to share these documents. These are the same documents, but particularly when you look at this, going to understand what we want to build, because I'm going to share a product road document. This product road documents entails each and everything step by step of how you are going to build the app. So the instruction that you have, it is that you're not going to do anything that does not align with what is explained in this product road document, but you're going to follow exactly what is laid out in the document, because this is the you're building, the style, the functionalities, the features as it is explained, because these are two documents. One is a markdown file, one is a Word document, but they fully explain what we want in terms of this project. So you are going to follow and be able to use this, the blueprint of building what you want. That means you are not going to just build what you want, but everything that you're going to build, you're going to refer to this document in terms of what you're supposed to set out as the functionality of what we want. So before you go any further in building this product, you're first of all going to analyze what is in the PRD document, which is a and then you are going to use the structure that is in the master prompt advanced MD file that I've shared to rebuild a full extensive plan of how you are going to build this platform using the study document as your sole reference. And with that, you're going to detail how you're going to capture each and every step chronologically and each and every feature as explained in this extensive document. So when you give me that plan, I'll look at it and I will approve it, and then from the plan you'll be build all these functionalities step by step. So I think let's run this. think we are going to extend this bit up so that we are able to see what the agent is doing. So definitely this is what we are using, but we can use another approach. Approaching any tool, it becomes quite easy for you to try out different options. But first of all, this is the option that we're going to try out and get to see how this product is built out very well. So it's reading the document, which is something that I love. It's extensively going through each and everything, because when you don't have, you just come and you tell it, you know why you're going to build out this, it becomes quite difficult. You won't really be able to get the output that you want. But if the document is quite extensive, then from the that kind of view, it's going to fully understand what you want for each and every step. Then it's going to build out something that you want. So you see, it has used the reference, which is the markdown file. That is the reason as why I provided the markdown file, and I also provided so for the stack, it's proposing to use Next.js JS plus Node.js API and PostgreSQL plus Next Auth, which is it's planning to use Clark. But I'm going to let it know that I love this plan. The plan is quite extensive. I love it. But when it comes to authentication, we are going to go with the authentication. We shall go with Firebase. For me, Firebase is quite simple, so I'm going to I'm going to let it know I love the plan. So I love this plan. The plan is quite extensive and it's rooted straight from the document that I gave. But I believe we are just going to, I approve you're going to run this plan. But when it comes to authentication, I want you to use Firebase, Google Firebase, with its functionality of Firebase authentication, which is quite good and easy for me to execute. So Firebase for authentication, but for the rest of the plan, I believe it's quite extensive. But also when you're working on this, I want you to first of all fully exhaust each and every step. Try to if you're working on the step, try to refer to the document even in your process. Even with this plan in place, try to refer D document that I gave you, so that you get the extensive details of what you're building and be able to execute it. So that means for the functionalities of storing elements and everything, we are going to use Firebase Auth for authentication, and we are going to use Firebase Firestore for setting up the different kinds of elements that we are going to store in terms of the details. So mark that very well as you're working on this particular app. So let's go and let it work out, and we get to see how it's going to. So I've opted for Firebase because for me I believe Firebase is quite good, and I think it has understood the process. This is my approach. Your approach, I would advise that your approach is quite good. If you can't develop a document, or if you can't be able to create a plan for whatever you're going to build, it's going to be quite difficult for the agent to understand what you want and in which kind of way you want it. Extensive. And for me, cloud has been a game changer in creating these product road documents. I believe it's the best agentic coding tool that can be able to understand what you want, get it from the simple explanation that you're going to make, and then be able to aggrandize it or make it grandier to the extent of creating a plan that is quite extensive and advanced to be able to help you to work and produce products that are quite good. So it is setting up everything, because initially these are the documents that we have here, the implementation plan and the other documents that we had. So it's setting up everything, and I believe after it has done the work, we are going to review, but it's going to do it by step, because the plan is quite extensive. So if the plan is extensive, then the work becomes quite easy. You wouldn't really have complications in whatever you're going to work on, and I believe it's very good. It's a very good practice to plan the execution, because if you go in and you just want to execute, then it's quite difficult for you to get whatever you would love to get in that kind of sense. So let's work on this. And that's good. Actually, when you're using elements tools like cloud is quite good, because it has a large context window. You can work up to 1 hour. So with a plan like this, which is quite detailed, then you can be able to execute each and everything. You won't have to struggle, but you have to explain step by step, what do you want. If you want this particular page, what are the functions are going to use this, how would you want them to be, how would you want everything to be set up. It's mostly about the detailing in terms of how you're going to make details in the provision of the information of how you want the functionalities to work out. That is quite important. So for advise that they interest themselves in prompting and becoming better and better in their kind of prompting, because if you can be able to explain in details what you want and what you want to be put out, and then you allow the agents to even go further to create extensive plans, then that comes over allowing the agent to take on the planning process, but also from the planning process for it to be able to understand these plans, interpret them, create a further execution plan, because there is the product road document of how it is supposed to move, but also there is a plan which is mostly for the execution. That we've laid out most of these plans. So as it is executing, we can look at this. This is the plan that we had earlier. This is our plan, which is quite extensive. This is the product road document. It is extensive, detailing each and everything and the steps that are supposed to be there and the functionalities that are supposed to be put on different kinds of. From that, we gave it to the agent. The agent understood the task, and then it created a further implementation plan. So this is the implementation plan of how it is going to implement each and everything. So it's checking on the implementation plan. It's going back to the PRD, which is the area, which is quite good. I know this is not, to some people, this is not an approach that they would want to go into, because they wouldn't want to waste time. They would want to jump straight into the element, which is not bad. But for me, this process is quite what we have to have and do, and I believe it's quite good to have this approach. So I believe it's making installation of it's installing some dependencies that are quite important and requireable to run the various processes, but it's going to come out with something that is good. I'm going to remind other people who have not yet subscribed to please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, because when you subscribe you get to get more of this. And I believe as we continue and move towards our goal, which is mostly 500,000 apps, you're going to learn a lot. This journey is going to teach you a lot, but also me, it's going to teach me a lot, because as I interact with you, as I get more knowledge from you, mostly from the people who are commenting, let me know where are you getting difficulties, what can we improve, what can we work on, what can we building products, because as I believe I'll be able to tailor this content based on your preferences, and it's going to be quite a very good way of us learning and moving on together into launching profitable vibe coded apps. For the people who have not yet checked out our apps, I'm going to show you, this is the website for our app, but this is our app that we've already launched. It's called Quizzer. Quizzer is very simple. It's a simple app. When you look at it, it's an AI tutor and quiz. You can be able to scan and solve any question from any subject, but also you can be able to get access quizzes that are tailored to your test. And I believe with this app, it is quite easy for the learners to use it to learn. We wanted to zero down to this kind of project because I wanted to show you first of all that you can be able to vibe code these apps into it. Importantly, I wanted you to follow the journey, and for our previous streams you can be able to see how we worked on each and every one of these processes. If you want to also continue to learn more of the subsequent apps that we are going to launch, please do not hesitate to subscribe. So this is our app. You can look at it. It's built out and it has a support for different kinds of languages, that English, French, German, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese and Spanish. This is quite good. So for the learners, it is quite extensive to be able to get access to these languages, and it's here, so you can check it out. If you want to download, if you are learning process, or maybe if you are college and you are still learning, you can be able to download it and use it for learning purposes. But also you can be able to download it and get to check it out. How did we build it out, given that it's a vibe coded project, which will give you insight more into also starting out your project, or even you can work on these projects. So thank you. Let's go back to our app. I believe it's still running and making installations. So it is still installing different kinds of elements that are quite important. Basically it's a new project. So as you can look at it, it's doing the work. The setup of the project is quite already underway. It's doing the work. It's making these installations, and after the installations, it's going to lay out the whole app. So this app, I believe we are going to do is we are going to work on it in particularly two streams. This one and maybe another stream, but with that we will be able to have a fully functional app. You don't need, when you make plans to fully execute this, you won't need an extensive time to be able to build these products. You can build them in a very minimal time, as long as you know what you want in terms of the product that you are building, and as long as you be able to tailor it extensively, the agent is going to understand what you want and it's going to build out something quite extensive. So when you look at the detail of this implementation plan, the implementation plan is quite detailed. It's quite detailed because I went earlier in the stream, I went back to cloud and I refined our implementation plan, rather our master prompt. So we use the master prompt to create this implementation plan, and the implementation plan is going to be in conjunction with our original product road document. These three documents are quite important in our process, and I believe as we go on to make this process even much more better, I'm going to fully understand that this is going to be quite good. So if you get access to this new refined master prompt, I want you to let me know in the comments. Please leave a comment on this video and let me know if you want to have it with a maximum of 50 comments. I'm going to implementation plan, because this implementation plan, or rather the master prompt document that is advanced, it is something that is trying to attempt to execute this platform in a single shot, which is quite good. So I believe the prompt will be quite beneficial to people who are building out this product. So you get access to it. Please comment and let me know. Comment about the document itself, or comment about anything that you would want me to fully exhaust in our streams, and I'll be able to tailor it into our streams plan and be able to put it out so we can be able to advance together. So the agent is still working, and we're going to give it time to work on this. We shall be able to check out the progress of what it is doing. So the beauty of what you want is that you're not going to lose out mostly on time, because now it is going to fully understand. So when you look at the plan, it has even laid out the phases. There are phases to what it is, where it is supposed to execute it at, which is quite important. So what I would advise, if you truly want to make the process much more easier for you in terms of vibe coding products, you have to have an approach of any advanced engineer. How would an advanced any project, how would they plan? How would the planning phase be like? And from the planning phase, how would they execute? So that process, if you have these kinds of documents laid out, these are agentic tools that fully work with you based on what you're going to give them. So if you information that is truly organized, then they're going to give you an output that is quite extensive. So you see, by the time we started, we only had documents, but you're working on the full project and it's executing each and everything, and it is in phases. So it's going to take time and execute this in phases, because it's going to understand what it is supposed to, which part of functionality is supposed to execute, what are the features, how are the features supposed to function, what phase is it supposed to execute before it goes on to the next phase. So if there is that kind of organization, I believe you're going to be a better agent engineer. In that way, why do I approach it and call it agentic engineering? Because you're working with these agents. You're an agentic engineer because you're working in conjunction with the agents to produce what you want, but you give them instructions that are tailored in a way that is quite advanced for them to fully understand what they understand, also to have a better approach, because you're helping them have a better approach in terms of their engineering work, and that is a better way to approach it. So if you have any questions in our approach, please let me know. Over feel is quite important, and I will check it out in the comments. Let's see. So if you have any comments, please do not hesitate to let me know. So like I told you earlier, the agent is executing mostly each and every part of our functionality. So what we did, let me take you for the ones who have just come onto the stream, let me take you to what did we do, our approach. We came here, the starting phase was simple. We came here, let's go back here and open the sidebar. Let's open the sidebar and go here. Our first process, we made a detailed explanation. First of all, we got an explanation from because we're building out this platform for a certain client. So we got explanations from a client what they wanted, because they produce a reusable sanitary pads. So they wanted a system that is going to automate their processes. using different products and they are working with different different employees, so they wanted to detail each and everything from the cutting process, from the process of patching up these sanitary pads, from the process of putting them out, to the process of the sales and how they are going to track the sales. So they wanted to track each and every detail factory production. So they gave us a detailed explanation, and this is the detailed explanation. I got it from a Word document and I pasted it here. I also re-explained what I wanted in terms of the document that I wanted. So the explanations were quite extensive, and from these explanations I allowed to produce a product road document. And that product road document, I wanted it to give me two files. First of all, I wanted it to give me a Word document file that I was going to share with the client, for the client to fully understand how we are going to build out their product, but also refine this product into a markdown document. So a markdown document, it's quite easy because it is the document that we were going to use in our building process, which is the document that I have. So when you let's look at the Word document, because give us quite an understanding of the planning phase. The planning phase is very important because for some people, I know they may not take it as something that is quite important, but if you don't have a very extensive planning phase, then it becomes quite difficult for you to be able to execute these platforms in a much more better. This is a planning phase. This is an executive summary of what is done by this company in terms of producing these reusable sanitary pads. And this is the business context and the production process. So we have different kinds of processes. Like I told you, the production, the materials that they produce, which is quite good. When we go here, we have the system architecture. So the system architecture details the various prerequisites that we want, and they are put here in our tech, which is the tech stack. We have the front end, and for the front end we are using Next.js. For the back end we are using Node.js with REST mostly, and for the database we are using PostgreSQL, which is also quite good. The authentication, Cloud had given us for maybe to use two options, the next auth.js or Clark for the authentication, but I've substituted it for Firebase because Firebase is quite good. And then for the generation of the PDF, because there is an element of generating reports, and that means we are working to be able to produce 7 reports, but the reports we wanted these reports to be reproducible with PDF, and the generation of PDF we are using Papeta or React PDF. And for the hosting we are going to use Vercel, and the other elements are mostly quite simple. It's element by element of what we want, because this is what the client gave us, and it turned Cloud just turned it into an extensive product road document that we are going to use, which for me is quite simple. So when we got these documents, we downloaded them, and then we here we can close this. So we put these documents here. These are the two documents for the markdown file and for the document for Microsoft Word, which is a document. Given that the agents sometimes don't really get to read out the file Word format, we've created the same kind of file in the markdown document, which I gave to the agent to fully understand, and I told it that this is what I want to be built out. And before I went further, let's check out let's go here and check out so let me close this. So I had a master prompt document that I was using to make it quite extensive, so that for this kind of tedious task that the agent is going to do, it's going to fully refine it. So I refined it. I gave Cloud another task to refine this master prompt document. The master prompt document, the use of this document is that for each and every instruction that you put out, agent. You tell the agent to re-refine this instruction using this document. The purpose of this, it is for the agent to fully refine this instruction into an instruction that is similar to the language that it understands. So when the instructions are really from your like simple kind of instructions to the agentic kind of instructions, then from there it uses that new refined instructions to execute whatever you want in your app. It makes the process quite easy, but also you are approaching it from an advanced senior kind of view that is going to give you the best results. And for me, that has been a game changer. So let's go here and I check out what the agent is doing. Taking some time because the instructions are quite extensive. It's working in phases, so just to be able to lay out the various purposes. It started with installing dependencies. Dependencies are mostly the different kinds of with people. You understand dependencies. Dependencies are, I can say, they are like programs that help us to get the various kinds of features that we want based on the instructions that we've given. So it started with that, and it went on to the phase of making the installations and now executions, which is quite good, which you would love. So I'm using open code because open code is quite good. It's agentic and it has a large context window. It can really work for an extensive time. But also if you're using cloud, I believe cloud is also good. Cloud is quite good. So for this I use cloud for the planning, it for the execution. But you can have, maybe you have a paid plan for cloud. Cloud can also work and be able to execute this. So with this you won't actually need to come from the other end of cloud, which is maybe if you've installed their app, or maybe you're working from the browser, you'll be able to execute it from there. Kind of where I had to come here to the IDE, which is Google Anti-Gravity, that I'm using to be able to execute this, and I believe the approach is better. So if you have any questions for the approach, or any questions further for our different kinds of products that we've worked on, you can be able to let me know. But also believe that this process is quite beneficial. I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe. I believe the subscription is one of the freest things that you can do for this channel to be able to grow it, but most importantly for you to get updates on the subsequent streams that we are going to make, which is quite important. So the approach for me, what I would advise if you're working with this, is to be able to first of all make the planning phase quite extensive, for you to detail each and everything. Let's say you're working on an app that has 3 screens. Maybe you want to automate the process of how you evaluate your tasks at work. It's a simple tool. You want to create a tool that is going to automate that process. Try as much as possible to detail even the constraints that you have. Let's say if your constraint is procrastination, try and be able to detail that so that the agent can understand that. Any agent that any LLM that you're working with in your planning phase, because when it understands this, then it's going to detail it in the product road document. And with the product road document, if you couple it with something like a master prompt, because for me I use 2 elements, I use 2 documents. I use the product road document, each and everything that I want to work on when I'm building a product, but I also use a master prompt. A master prompt, it helps me to reorganize the simple instructions that I give to the LLM, because let's say it has worked on a certain functionality, but it has not been able to exhaust each and every. I reprompt with simple instructions, but before it uses that simple instructions, I tell it to use the master prompt document to reorganize the instruction. So the approach is that way, because I want it I want these instructions to align, because these agentic tools are very powerful, but the way we approach that makes the difference. So that is what I believe someone would do, and they can be able to advance their vibe coding from only the simple kind of practice to something that is quite even extensive, and they can be able to make it much more better. And that helped me, because when we are working on our initial apps. I can show you the app. I'm going to re-show you for the app for the people who have not yet seen it. So this is one of the apps that we've built primarily from this very stream. We started on this with creating the screenshots. We created the screenshots, and from the screenshots we went to the process of we first of all created a simple a product road document. We used it to create the screenshots, and then from the screenshots, for the screenshots we used Google Stitch. Google Stitch is also a very good tool that you can use. We used Google Stitch, you can check it out. And then from Google Stitch we exported those screenshots using the Google Stitch MCP to Google Anti-Gravity. We went to Google Anti-Gravity, and with Google Anti-Gravity we were using React Native, which is quite good, and for the back end we used Firebase, and we built out this simple app. So what does the app do? The app is simple. You can be able to and solve any question. You scan any question, the app understands the context of that question, and it tells you, let's say you don't have to tell it that this is mathematics, this is physics, or this is chemistry or geography. So you just have to scan the question. When you scan that is geography, it's going to give you the step-by-step of how you can arrive to the answer, or it's going to give you the context of the answer for you to understand it, and finally it's going to show you the answer. That is one functionality. The other functionality that it has is that you can choose any subject. We have plus, you can choose any subject, and you can choose a subtopic that you want to practice, and with that it's going to create 5-minute quizzes. These quizzes are tailored to help you get more acquainted with that subject, so you get to learn and you practice. It gives you questions and options of answers, and after you've attempted these answers, at the end it's going to give you your score. It's going to also give you what answers you've got right and the wrong answers, where you failed, and also what would be the right answer. So it enables the students to practice, but also be able to attempt, able to do their homework swiftly well. And this is what we were able to build in the subsequent live streams. The app is live, and it's also already making money. We have already paid subscribers of up to 150 paid subscribers who have, is quite good. So I believe these are tools that you can build out. You don't have to really be technical, but if you get a better approach of how you can build these with these tools, you can be able to build them very well. So these are the different kinds of functionalities for the app. The other thing that I forgot to let you know about our app is that what we built, we have support for over 7 languages: English, German, Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean, and Portuguese. So our app supports all these languages. Was vibe coded. If I were able to do this, and I'm not technical, I believe you can be also able to do this when you're not technical. You just have to run the right kind of approach, and that is what I try to share. Because if I were able to achieve this skill, why I feel like I can be able to give back, it is to share my journey with you. Questions, do not hesitate to let me know. The chat section is quite free. You can go to the chat and let me know what you would love to learn. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate. So that is what you're working on. So here the agent is still doing the work, which to me is quite amazing and good, because if we have the capacity to explain the of the app detail by detail, and it's being laid out and built out the way we want, then for me that is quite something good. But mostly it's trying to install and make installations different kinds of dependencies, because the dependencies are quite important for a tool that is going to detail the process, the production process, from the production to the storage to the sales, and from the sales to the analysis of all these different processes, which is very, very important. So let's continue to wait for it to see how it's going to make the installation of all this, but also be able to work on the various fields. If you have any questions, please, to this process of building this app, do not hesitate to let me know. Please let me know what you feel we can add. Let me know if you have any questions. Please do not hesitate to ask the questions. I will gladly answer these questions. I'll gladly answer any questions. The chat is open. You can ask any questions. So you can ask any questions about vibe coding. We can be able to create these apps, about the constraints that we go through when you are creating apps. Any questions literally, and I will be able to effectively attempt them and let you know anything that you feel you would want to know, because I believe when I share this information, it's much more important for people to learn and get to acquaint themselves, and also learn that they can be able to build these products. These products are quite buildable. The tools are very good, but your approach is also have a better approach. The approach is as important as any other process of producing these apps. So if you have a better approach, I believe you are going to have better results. And for me, what I try to detail, I don't to do a 10-minute video that is going to leave out the source of how I build. I want you to see this process unfold. I want you I want to explain each and every detail. So that is why I invite questions mostly. If you have the questions, please let me know. Even if you're watching this after the stream is to put the questions in the comments, because that is also helpful, because when you ask it for the subsequent streams, I'll try as much as possible to explain it all. I'll try as much as possible to reply each and every comment, so that we can be able to move forward. But also, I would love to hear success stories of people who have built out products, most from these streams, and be able to work things out and advance their lives. And I believe where we are heading, it is quite important for each and everyone to understand how they can leverage artificial intelligence to advance their careers. Basically, for me, I always had love to build out products, skills, but with AI, I was able to learn how I can be able to, first of all, do it manually. But even from the manual kind of view, I also learned how I can be able to employ these tools to be able to build out the products in a much more better way, to even save time. And the machines are going to take over. It is let me explain, let me give you this analogy. When you look at AI is in its infancy stages. It's like a baby. That is all I can say. So it's going to keep on advancing. It's going to keep on getting better. So the more you acquaint, like you make yourself familiar, the more leverage you're going to have than other people. Even in your workplace, some people might feel like maybe they're not going to build these products, but they want to learn about AI. How can they leverage AI in their workplaces? If they're really executing their tasks for their bosses, how can they execute? Planning on building products that they are going to launch, and maybe for people to use, maybe to use in their own kind of businesses, how can they leverage that? So that is the future of where we are going. So we need to learn. I learned this because I felt like this is the future. So with the coming, it's going to be very hard for someone to be employable, or for someone to be able to run an effective business if they don't fully learn how to use AI. The people who are integrating the use of AI in their businesses, they are going to move much more faster. With me, actually, when we are building this app, if it was earlier, people would have, I can say, they would have charged us quite an extensive amount of money to be able to build the app. But I can say it was something like 1 month and a few weeks, because we had some functionalities that were quite had to redo the onboarding process because we wanted the onboarding process to be quite engaging. I went over the onboarding process because it's quite extensive for the app. I believe it's over 20 screens but to be able to move that fast, because we were building out 2 products. Let me show you this. We are working on the app which is Replit, which is this app that we had to launch, which also had logic to configure logic of the snap, and also to configure logic for generating the different kinds of quizzes in a personalized way. But also we had to configure and logic of working on the website, because one of the prerequisites that you're going to face when you're building out apps is that you need to submit this app. In other words, it's referred to as a marketing URL, because when you come here, actually let's go here, I'm going to show you something. Let's go here. When you go here, let's say you've just interfaced with this page without first of all seeing the website. They are going to show this, which is the marketing URL website. When you click on it, it's going to redirect you to this website. So we had 2 things that we had to work on. We had to work on the app, work on its logic, which was quite extensive to be able to produce an app like that. But also we had to work on this, which we had to also tailor to be able to put out the different kinds of information that is quite important. So basically the website details what our app does in terms of the 2 functionalities, creating personalized quizzes and also the snap and feature. We had to be able to work on this and put it out very well. So what I can tell you, you need just to interest yourself. The more you use these tools, you're going to get better. You're going to get better day by day. You just have to learn. Maybe you're using the tool and you're having pitfalls. The way you're going to approach it, going to approach a tool, the way you're working with these tools in this particular month is not the way you're going to approach that very same tool when it gets to September or October. You're going to get better with time, but the way you get better, it is to interest yourself, be there every day, try to build even if it is simple with a very gigantic app. You can build a very simple app as long as it is quite functional, as long as it is solving a problem. So the approach would be, and let me talk about this approach, because for the people who are online, I believe also it's going to be very helpful. The approach would be, if there are people are facing these kinds of problems, how frequent are they facing the problems? You can zero down to the daily activities, which I refer to as the toothbrush model. So the toothbrush model is that you find a problem that surrounds a particular activity that people get to do or get to attempt twice a day in their life. An essential, people eat at least 2 times a day. So if you're building an app that is helping them in the process of eating, that app is much more it has a much more chance of succeeding kind of way, because it is solving something that is done at least twice or thrice a day. So when you are solving something maybe that is in the transportation sector, people get to move at least twice a day. They move when they are moving from their homes, they are going to their workplaces, and when they are coming back. So if you are creating something that is solving kind of line, that can work. So you find these activities that are redone more than 2 times a day, because with a toothbrush you get at least to brush 2 times a day when you're going to sleep, or maybe when you wake up, so or even more. So the toothbrush model can be applied to of the ideas, so that when you're going to create an app, you don't just create an app that is I can say a vitamin kind like app. You're just going to create an app which is a pain solver, and with a pain solver app, it is an app that is really solving, that is evident, but also a pain point that people face on a daily basis. That is where the toothbrush model comes in, and from that kind of approach, it becomes quite easy for you to be able to build out apps like this, like the one that I've put out. But definitely, as we go on, I'm going to be able to share even more information. I'm going to call upon the people who have not yet subscribed subscribed, please do not hesitate to subscribe to this stream, rather to this channel, so that you can get subsequent information of our streams and what we do and how we get to do it and how we are working on these different kinds of products. Today we are extensively working on a reusable sanitary pads product, and basically a client approached us and they wanted to automate all their processes from production, from storage to the sales and revenue, and from the analysis of how they are progressing with their business, because they are doing the business, they're actively doing the business, but now they did not have a tool that is going to really track each and every process, from the production process to all other processes, and that is what we are trying to automate currently and working on. Like I explained earlier, we first created the PRD document, and from the PRD document we created a new master prompt, which was quite extensive, and we used the master prompt to create the implementation plan. The implementation plan is what we are using to execute each and everything. Given that the tool that we are working with has a context window based on the different kinds of LLMs that it is working with, we are using open code, which we have embedded into our Google Anti-Gravity IDE. It's trying to execute each and every part of the process, mostly starting with the installation of, and also it's continuing to work on the app. So here I try as much as possible to explain, but if you have any question, any query, you can put it in the chat so that I can be able to explain, or about the app that we've launched, or about the processes of how we go about this. I'm very, very open to questions and being in everything extensively. So if there are any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. I'm definitely going to explain them extensively. So now I believe it has finished with the creation of, or the installation of the dependencies. It is working on the files, and for me, the better part of this, the sweeter part of this, is that most of the manual processes that we are working on, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, they are going to be automated. So if you are in the loop of the automation, if you get to start early and you can be able to find out and find different kinds of businesses, like for this business, they approached us because they had a pain point of something they wanted to solve, and we are trying to solve that with automating their processes. Your locality, in your city, you can be able to find different kinds of people who are doing work, but they want to track what they're doing. You offer to automate these processes for them, and then you go on to build these products. It can be a very, very good source of income for you, because the tools are good. They're going to build whatever you want. The process of the context of what you provide in terms of what they are building, that is going to be the very, very most essential building block to get you from point A of ideation to point B of having a fully functional app, maybe a web app, or that you can use, or that your client who has given you the task can be able to use fully. So I believe it's something that you can also embrace. That is how I started. For me, I started with familiarizing myself with working on different kinds of products. I had a vision to work on my own products, but also when I got in the mix, got requests from people who wanted me to automate processes for them, build out products for them, and for me that is quite joyous to be able to work on these products, put them out for clients, get to see clients use them, and be able to spiral their businesses from point A to point B. But I you can learn also in the future. This we are moving away. We are in the journey. We started with the simple kind of a process where we used to create code snippets, copy them, bring them here manually, integrate them into the tools. Now the agentic tools are already here. For us, we just have to explain what we want. Now, from the agentic revolution, we are going to move to a revolution where we are going to be able to get these agents into physical products, and that is going to introduce the robotic revolution. are going to do most of the work that we get to do manually. So if you don't want to interest yourself with this kind of knowledge, I know, yes, today it may not make sense. It may not make sense that there are people explaining these things to you, but in the future it's really going to make sense, because that is where we are headed. If you want to know where we are headed, I want you to check out a book. This book was published in I think I can check it out here. Let me try to check it out. 2025. This is the book that was published. We can check it out here. So this is the book. I think I can try to open this book, because it's going to give me a context of explaining what I've been telling you. So this is the book that I want you to get. It's 25 scenarios of US and the global society reshaped by science and technology. This book was first published in 1998, but it has detailed context of the changes that we are going to incur in terms of technology and science. And most of these things, like artificial intelligence, I saw artificial intelligence in this book, which was written in 1998, and I said, if I had got my hands on this book earlier, maybe I would have moved much more faster. So that is the reason. That's why I tell you, you need to move much more faster. You need to learn how you can integrate AI into your life, not just to go to ChatGPT, ask a simple question and gives you an answer. No, how you can use these agentic LLMs to first of all create new businesses, also make the businesses that you have much more better, build out products for all the ideas that you've ever wanted. Now they are possible. You can be able to build out them. Predicted that we are going to go through these kinds of phases with books that were written back in the 1990s, and now they are coming to fruition. That is the reason as why I tell you, changes are going to be here. You just need to interest yourself with doing the right thing. Yes, you might not want to do the right thing. I can let you know that things are going to be quite bloody in the future, because in the future you're not going to have those kinds of jobs. The job market is going to change. Everything is going to be transformed. You're going to be able to these tools in the earlier phase, and you can interest yourself and get in the loop of creating and being an entrepreneur and getting to create products around things that are not going to change. There are things that are not going to change. People are always going to want to communicate. So if you create a new frontier communication tool, you can be able to leverage and make money from that. People are going to want to interact, create relationships. So if you create something like maybe a relationship app, but if there is some kind of fusion or a better way of how you are delivering this product, it's going to be quite to eat. Even in 2045, people are going to eat. Even in 2070, it's not going to take away the fact that people are going to feed. So if you are able to tailor your solutions to something that is quite constant, then even these changes that are going to come along the way to be caused about AI, because I believe we are still in the infancy stages of AI. AI is going to keep on improving. Back in the day when we started out, the LLMs were not that good, but these days they are very good. I gave one prompt. I organized my information. I gave one prompt when we are starting out, and currently it's really building out each and every much more detailed way. So I believe when you have this kind of approach, it's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for you to interest yourself with these tools, but also ensure that as you are building out, you can be able to create apps that are going to make impact, apps that are going to transform the lives of people. For me to be able to partner with this company, which is Replit Pads, to be able to automate their production process and each and every process that they get to attempt in their work, it's quite to do this. And I believe as we continue, I'm going to even explain much more of these processes in a much more better way. So do not hesitate to subscribe to the stream and to what we do generally. So the context window is So it's extensively going about each and everything, which I love and I wanted to do, because I felt like if I just give it instructions to execute these instructions that are broken, will have to reprompt and reprompt and reprompt and reprompt and reprompt, which is very, very tedious. I wouldn't want to do that. I just want to single shot something. Yes, for the functionalities you can single shot them. Maybe when it comes to the UI is something that you can really reprompt, because that you can do and then re-add on to a UI screen to even make it better, which is will be mostly your front end part of this. But for the agentic approach of what you want to do, I believe you can effectively go execute something in a much more better way. And I'm using open code. Open code is a very, very powerful. It's one of the most powerful agentic coding tools that you can integrate into IDEs. You can use it with Virtual Studio Code, which is VS Code, but I've integrated it into anti-gravity, and it's doing the work in a much more extensive way. And for me, I believe this is quite good. So like I always say, please do not hesitate to let me know. If you want to check out our app, that would be another advantage for us. This is our app that we have. We've vibe coded this app. It's already out on the store. You can be able to check it out, get to maybe use it, and importantly get to see what it does and the capability of these tools and what they can do. Because I believe as you get to familiarize yourself with the different kinds of processes of building products, it becomes quite easy for you to also build out your own product. So I believe as you check out these products, or as you get to follow up, we're going to ensure that we re-explain most of the things for you to understand them well. For the people who have subscribed, thank you for the subscriptions. I'm very, very, very humbled for them, and I believe as I continue to explain these things, it's going to be quite a game changer. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask those questions as we go along the way of building this platform. So currently the building process is quite extensive, but I can re-show you. Maybe we try to re-go through the prompt. This is the extensive prompt. So when you look at this, is the product requirements document, which is quite extensive. So you look at most of the things that we are going to build. We have different kinds of sections that we have on this app. We want to track production, so it has production tracking. We want to also work on storage management. It has storage management. We have an element for sales and revenue. We are also that we have an element which is mostly for the expenses tracking, and we have another element which is the analytics and reports. We want to be able to get different kinds of reports, but also this is an extensive product requirements document that details various elements, from the front end part of the requirements to the back end part of the requirements. So what the agent is doing, it's following this document to execute each and everything in chronological order, which you can do because the agents have grown. They have a large extensive window, so they are going to fully approach your product based on. So if you give them something that is quite simple, then they won't be able to maximize their potential and give you what you want. So you can look at the different kinds of elements that it's going to so it's going to look at how it's going to look at different kinds of data models and the roles in terms of the execution, which are the user roles and permissions, the UI stroke UX specifications, the product report generation, so the non-functional requirements. It's quite extensive, and for me this kind of approach gives me the joy to understand that when I'm approaching a product, I'm not just approaching it the basis of how an amateur would approach it, but from the basis of giving as much context to the agentic tool that is going to build this product as possible, for it to give me a much more better, well built out result for any app, be it a mobile app that I'm working on, which is quite extensive. So this document details each and everything. You need to look at it and understand that when you don't make a product requirement document that is quite extensive, then you may not be able to get what. So it has processes of what needs to be built. It's simply going and looking at process by process of what it is supposed to build and execute, and it is executing everything in a much more better way. So we've been here, I think it has been running for over an hour right now, and it's really expensive and working on this. So these are the processes of what it's working on. So that this was the initial phase that's it is executing. So it's working on the other phases to ensure that everything is set out very well. So if you have any questions of how we approach products and maybe how we go about the lengthy process of creating these documents, please do not hesitate. Let me know so that I can also be able to explain this in a much more better way. So you see, it's detailing each and everything. It's working on a phase one, but it has broken it down into different kinds of phases. And for me, yes, I know some of you, when you're interfacing, what you want, what you would love to do is to go in, jump in, maybe make simple explanations, go about it. But for me, the approach of letting this tool fully understand the context of what I'm working on and using that approach to go further and produce something that is, I believe that is quite good and extensive. And I love the process of how it's going about it and producing all these files in a much more detailed way. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I believe we are going to get a product that is quite well thought and quite good. So it's making reinstallation of some dependencies, but I believe it's good. So please let me know if you have any questions. Do not hesitate to let me know, or you can also check out our app that we've already put out, which is very important. We've already put out an app which is on the store, so if you want to check it out, please check it out. If you have any questions, to let me know. Let me know of whatever you would love to understand, and I will explain it extensively well. So let's continue. So what we are working to automate the production, to create a platform that tracks the production process of a manufacturing company that manufactures sanitary reusable parts. Basically, when you look at what has been produced so far in terms of the elements, it is quite good. The reason as to why we have this, we created an extensive product road document, and this details each and every process. So the agent is working to be able to execute each and everything. It has already laid out the files, and it's extensively working on to ensure that each and everything is set up very well. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll answer the questions. If you want to check out the apps that we've worked on so far, this is on, which is the pizza app. Which enables students to scan and solve any questions. We've vibe coded this in the previous streams, so if you want to make that, please you can go back in the subsequent streams and check them out as we build out these new products. So let's wait for continue making the necessary executions. One thing that I love about these agents, they are quite the coding agents, they're quite good because with a large context window you can be able to run different kinds of functionality. If you have an extensive kind of requirements for your app put into a document like this product requirement document that we've created, then the process becomes quite easy for you to build out each and everything well, with quite understood in different areas of your app. Which is quite good. So let's wait for it to continue executing. I've been working on this execution for a lengthy time, which is quite good because it has worked on most of the elements, and it continues to work on even the remaining elements. But I love it because that kind of process, if I get to make the planning phase quite solid, I don't have to reprompt each and every time. I don't have to which is quite tiresome. Basically, earlier on it was a tiresome process, but now I feel like the agents are getting good, they are becoming good, and the processes are even getting much more better. Not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, and do not hesitate to support us. Check out our app, and I believe with the support of subscribing, it's quite for us, and it keeps me in the loop of knowing that there are people who are interested in this content, and for me to come here and continue to do this kind of content. So I think it's downgrading Firebase to a much more compatible. It's downloading Firebase to a much more compatible version, which is good. So for the people who have just come on, we are working automation of the production process of Start Durable Pads. Start Durable Pads is a company that produces reusable sanitary pads. So they gave me a task of creating a tool that tracks each and every process of theirs, starting from production process to the sales process, revenues, and also making analysis of different kinds of things like output of and productivity of the employees and their payments. So the tool is quite extensive to account all the processes for this company that gave me the job of automating this process. And I'm trying to create a tool that is going to encompass each and every process. I started with creating a product road document. Then I went on to, which is here. So this is the extensive product road document. You can see it, it's quite extensive. Then I went on to the process of refining our master prompt. So it is the master prompt that I use. Basically, the master prompt is like that restructures each and every information that I give to the agent, for the agent to understand that this is what you are supposed to build. Even when I give a simple explanation, I extend the master prompt to it, and I tell the agent to refine the instruction so that the instruction aligns with the agent. These agentic LLMs that build out these tools, for it to be quite good, for me to get a better output. And then from the output, the agent created a new implementation plan. So this is the implementation plan. The reason as to why you see it has taken quite an time, and it's building out each and every element. Each and every part of this our platform is laid out here in the implementation plan. So the implementation plan is quite extensive. It's very, very extensive. So the agent is using the implementation plan in conjunction with the early requirements document that we created, and it's executing each and everything quite very well. So we shall be able to review this after the completion. It has taken out some time, but this is what I truly love, because with this it has been able to understand and it is building out the features chronologically, which you would love. And I've not reprompted again. So that is what I wanted to create something extensive in terms of the instructions, so that I cannot be I avoid reprompting and reprompting for each and every functionality. So everything is laid out as required. So we are this in a much more better way. That is what I'm working on. For the people who have not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, because you're going to support us immensely when you subscribe to this channel. But also, if you want to get access to this kind of information subsequently, we get to do these live streams on a daily basis. You'll be access to this for each and every day. So do not hesitate to subscribe. It's quite important that as you subscribe, so it's going through the node modules, which is something that I love its kind of approach. I love its kind of approach, which is quite which is good. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. Please let me know. So let's continue and get to see the product that we are going to have. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. Any questions in regards to vibe coding, web apps and mobile apps, let me know. And I'll be able to answer them. Let's continue. So if you have not yet checked out our app, meanwhile that we've already worked on, you can check it out. This is the website to our app, which is already live. So if you feel like you want to check out some of our products that we've worked on during the earlier live streams, this is one of it. And I believe as I worked on it and as I was explaining to other people to learn, it was quite beneficial to me and to them particularly. Yes, it's taking out some time, but I love what it's doing, because the instructions are extensive. So which is also something that takes up some time, but I believe it's going to continue to work on this product. I think some dependency, it's the agent is working to fix that. And when you look at our content of mostly what we gave out, the process is quite long. It has 7 phases, and the agent is going phase by phase, each and everything, and exhaust all the functionalities in all the phases, which is quite good. The reason as to why it is like this, we gave in a detailed overview of what we wanted. And with that, we have been able to get the agent to work on it process by process, phase by phase. So I believe at the end of the phases, we are going to see something that is even good and better. So if you have any questions, please, you can let me know. In the chat section, answer them. If you have any questions about what you are working on, about our app, about anything basically. Let's continue. And ensure that everything is set out very well. So the beauty of having a very detailed plan is that you don't have to reprompt each and every time, which for me is a very fair, an unfair advantage, mostly if you know how to create that are going to encompass each and every feature of what you want to build. Let's continue on the work. which is good.
Step in the place, energy high. On more the levels don't change. No more looking back at ground. We only look at the sky. Burn like a flame, stay bright. Everything clearly see light. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Show light, we don't arrive. Love drum, make me come alive.
Let's continue to let the agent execute.
We find the fire we see. Magnet moving, move fast. Make this feeling always last. Always last. Burn like a flame, stay bright. Everything clear we see.
I think everything is coming along very well.
Feel the heat, never stop. We don't arrive. Love drum, make me come alive. Love drum, we come alive. Nothing break us, we bestow. King of the night on the throne. Higher, higher, we did grow. Higher, higher, we did go. Just like we don't arrive. Love drum, make me come alive. Love drum, we come alive.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's quite good, and I love the fact that it's going phase per phase, which is good, because when you are running an app and it's not able to executions from one point to another, then it becomes quite difficult. But being able to view it, make this in a much more better way, it's quite amazing. It's an amazing time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. It's an amazing time to be alive, because with the way the AI approaches this in a very systematic way, it's quite lovely. Basically, the hard part was mostly making installations for the dependencies and setting out the back end architecture of the app. And for now, it's working on the front end layouts of the app, which are coming out quite very well. I love. And basically, what we did was to create an extensive product requirements document, and then we used our master prompt, which is quite advanced, to restructure the implementation plan for this prompt, and that is the reason as to this long. So we gave one prompt at the start of the stream, and we've not re-prompted, and it's building out each and every element of our tool in a much more extensive way. So for me, I believe this is something quite good. If you have any app that you want to build, again, the better approach would be for you to give detailed explanations of what you want, because these detailed explanations are going to allow you to fully leverage each and everything. Because if you truly know what you want to do in this end of the app to the other end of the app, then it becomes quite advantageous for you to create a detailed plan. An extensive plan is going to save you from the reprompts, and for that it's going to save you from going to use. So you can look at the credits that we've used currently. These are the credits that we've used, but again, it's working on the various phases. So these are the phases that we had. We had the phase 0, which was the project foundation, Next.js, auth, the types and the components, then the employee CRUD, plus the target config and the batch management. We've already worked on those. We've worked on the daily production entry forms and the overview. We've worked on different kinds of sections. So me using this approach to cloud, because the approach was to first of all go to Cloud AI, and Cloud AI built out the detailed plan, and from the detailed plan, then we went to these different kinds of phases, which is quite good. So it's working on the various phases, and the planning is good, because if you just jump in, you never take note of anything, maybe you never plan out extensively, you're not going to get this kind of way. So we made a document, which is this document. So it's the product document that I'm talking about. It's quite extensive, detailing each and every role, each and everything, that the functionalities, the tech stack, and whatever we need. Then we imported this document, and then we used our master prompt, which is advanced, to create an implementation plan for this platform using the. Then this was the plan that was created. The plan is also quite extensive. It details each and everything and how it's going to be executed. So the execution plan of jumping into this without a detailed plan, it is going to really frustrate you. For me, the better approach is that you make the planning phase quite extensive, so that when the agent, given that the agents have a large context window, you won't have to reprompt. So you can see I'm working on this project. I've not even used the normal kind of agent that we have in Google Anti-Gravity. I'm using open code, which I've into my PC. So it's quite a very powerful coding agent that fully executes everything in the way that I want it. And with this, I've prepare that document, and I gave the execution. It has been working for over, I can say we've been on this stream for over 1 hour. We are going into 2 hours, and it has been executing this for over 2 hours without me reprompting anything. So that is quite the magic. The magic comes from the understand everything. The magic comes from the context of how you're going to approach it. You don't have to reprompt, you don't have to rechange things. That is going to tire you out, because you could be working on something that is quite extensive, and maybe you're going to reprompt and you're going to make 1,000 reprompts. That is quite tiring. It's quite tiring. What you would want to do is that you would want to create an extensive kind of instructions of what you want, and that is going to save you from all the trouble. So now here comes the moment of the truth. We've finalized with this. I've finished implementing this, and we are going to check it out, because we were working on it earlier, and it worked actually on most of the things, but now it has completed the process. We are going to check it out, which is quite good. Before we check it out, I'm going to call upon the people who have not yet subscribed to this stream. Please join our platform and be able to support us in that way. So let's check this one out. So I think we need to run npm dev. We've not run that. Let's open another command prompt and go to this project. I think we are opening it up without running it. So you're going to run npm dev, rather npm run dev, and initialize the project, the localhost. So now that when we run the localhost, so let's wait for it to open, and then we get to view what we've worked on. Yeah, I think we are receiving some error, which is mostly a root error. This one we shall sort it out. We shall sort it out. So we can copy this. It's an authentication error. You can copy this and go back to open code, and so now when we try to open up the app, we got this error, which is mostly an authentication error. So the task is for you to look at the details of the error for the pasted information, and be able to resolve how we are going to implement it. Implement it. Let's reference our master prompt, which is a very important document in our kind of execution. So after you resolve how you're going to implement it, create a new plan, and it should be guided by the master prompt document that I've referenced here, the master prompt advanced, so that the plan can effectively allow us to refine the errors that we are getting. So let's we can see how the agent is going to look at the errors that we are getting. They are mostly authentication errors, but I believe they can be resolved. If you've not yet subscribed to the stream, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe to this stream. We get to showcase how you can be able to vibe code products, but in a much more better, cost efficient way. If it is something that you would love to do, the least thing that you can do for this channel, it is to subscribe and be able to get access to more subsequent streams. Also, like the video if you want it to go out to even more people that are watching the stream. So as it is working to create the plan, also check out various. So we are recreating the implementation plan. We are refining it to ensure that first of all, the agent understands the current state of what we've done so far and what is missing mostly. Because most of the things were done, that is what I believe, most of the things we are just making refinements for what is breaking. For the people who have just joined, the tool that we're working on, it's the tool that is automating the processes of which is called Stadio pads. They get to produce reusable sanitary pads, and what we are helping with it is to create a tool that automates and tracks each and every process, starting from the production process to the sales and process to the revenue process, and also giving some various elements like the employees and their productivity, which is an important element if you want to really advance in any business. Of course you have to track what matters, and with tracking what matters, it becomes quite this. So I think the plan is already underway. Let's proceed. The changes that need to be made are mostly in regards to Firebase, which is understandable. And these will be effectively worked on. It's handling most of the processes, which is good. So these are the few refinements that are being done, but I believe everything is going to be quite laid out very well. For the people who have not yet subscribed, please, as you're watching this stream, we enjoy to bring you this content and give it out to you. Please do not hesitate to subscribe to this stream. It's one of the freest things that you can do. But also, I promise you that as we go on with subsequent streams, I'm going to make this process even much more better for you. So if you're out there and you would love to learn more about creating these products, please do not hesitate to subscribe. Thank you.
I carry my load, I carry my bar, then I see for the shade. Silk dress yellow like bright plantain. You don't even look my side, just the price they try things. I stand there like I see when I forget until I come by. I forget to, baby, tell me
So you're waiting for the completion, and then we can rerun the tool and we get to check out what has been built, which is lovely. And I've loved this because I believe the approach has given me something even much more better, because with how we've extensively gone through the process, I believe one of the things that you can leverage by creating a product requirements document that is quite extensive, detailing each and everything, and then using tools, agentic coding tools that have a large context window, because those allow you to leverage the power of what you've detailed and be able to work on it without leaving out any detail. And for me, that is one of the things that is quite good.
That's right.
So now I think it's making a few refinements. We shall be able to look at those. And review them. It's running the build to see. I think it's going to work out this time. Then from there we can recheck it. Let's go here. I think it's providing us with a guide. These files which we will set up later. For now, we are going to stop here, then we shall resume this stream with our platform and how it has worked out. Thank you.